So
motivate people. Do you know?
I have a very, very perplexing motivation today. It's something that, I'll be honest with you guys, it's not off the cuff. Well, it's...
You done messed up. Shirt says you done messed up.
No, my shirt says you done messed up, AA Ron.
I just noticed.
It's from, it's from Key and Peele. It's one of my favorite skits.
Oh, sorry, I just noticed it now because you lean back and I'm like, you done messed up.
It's, yeah, you done messed up, AA Ron. The best part is, it's about education. That worked out quite well. So, morning motivational rant, guys. So, this is a topic that I've had in my head for the last couple of days. I don't have anything prepared per se, but it's been floating around. I sent Crystal a link to this the other day, and I thought I would use it. I was going to say let's discuss it, but instead I said no, let's morning motivation. It's a German movie that it is about 12 minutes long. It's 12 minutes long. And it's called 8:27. It's 8 minutes, 27 seconds. And what it is it's a movie where the news does a broadcast saying that the sun has gone out. And the time it takes for light to go from the sun to the earth is 8 minutes and 27 seconds. Okay, that's how long it takes. And essentially it's a look at how people deal with if you were told you have... Because if the sun goes out, the planet freezes. And Victoria was like, oh, well, if you're close to fire. I'm like, no, you don't understand. If the sun goes out, we're dead. We will instantly freeze to death. It's extremely horrible, right? The only reason that we can survive right now is because of our electromagnetic field, and there's a ton of different factors into it. But the fact is, if the sun goes out, we're fucked. So if you had 8 minutes and 27 seconds to live, what would you do? And it's funny because there's romance, there's shock, there's principle, there's straight up murder. And it was interesting because Victoria was like, well, what would you do? I said, if I was at work, I'd start murdering people. Just hands down, I would start throwing people out the window. No problem. Like, I wouldn't even hesitate. And she goes, well, what if you're at home? I'm like, I'd probably hold you. And she was like, aw. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I was trying to be romantic. It was more so I was trying to get some play before I die. That's more so what it was. But, it was romantic. And I was just like, yeah. And then I asked her, what would you? She's like, I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, because she's not romantic. Just to be very clear. So, but this thing is, it's something to really think about, is that at any point in time, realistically, right, walking out the front door is dangerous. Staying inside your house is dangerous. There's so much danger we don't really realize is happening around us, yet we carry on. Like, there's a huge movement of people who are like, master, it's a mind control thing. And you're like, okay, let's say it's a mind control thing. Your point? Like, and that's the thing, is people are all fighting. It's like, listen, if you had 8 minutes, 27 seconds to live, what would you do? And I found it it's been on my mind constantly, because I think about it. I said, like, what would be the most important thing? What would matter the most? And that's why it's like every day is so filled with chance, but we want to do our best to kind of grab life by the horns and kind of direct it the way we want. And we strive so much to have control over achieving and doing this. And today was a perfect example where I said, well, no, you have to talk like this. And that's not really fair to Crystal, because she has her own way. And it's unreasonable for me to impose my way on her, right? But that's the thing, is when we have a back and forth, it can work out. And it was kind of weird to think, is like, we have so much control and also no control at the same time, that it makes you kind of wonder, what would I do if I had 8 minutes and 27 seconds left to live, And I really thought that how important it was that, because we had, it was actually one of the people that I thanked earlier, Blair Brown, he was the one who posted, was like, hey, if you were going to die in 3 months, what would you do? And why can't you do it now anyway? And you're kind of going, that's a good point, right? And that's the thing, is like, every day we have these challenges and stuff, but we try so hard that it makes you wonder, what's our goal? How are we trying to move forward? How are we better off today than we were yesterday. And like sometimes that's just being able to keep our sanity more. I think that's a win. Sometimes it's handling a conversation well. Sometimes it's getting your point across. There's so many valid uses of that time that I encourage everyone to just think about it. Say, how would you act if you only had that 8.5 minutes left? What would it mean to you, and how would you go forward? But I feel like it's something very telling, and there's no right answer to it. But I don't know. It's something that I really think is worth thinking about. I think that's all I have to say. Crystal, where can everyone find you?
As simply me on YouTube, Crystal Morency on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And Dino, Laura Dino.
Guys, Dino the Genetic Marvel. I am available on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook. I have a fan page, on Twitter as well. Morning Motivational Rant, guys. We are all over the place. We are on YouTube. We are on Instagram. I post every day. We have a Facebook fan page where we load some clips. Then as well, we have... the audio cast is on Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. And as well, I just started posting it to Reddit as well, just to see if we can get some traction there, just so we can try. But like, share, and subscribe. We're here every day, 7 days a week, killing it like awesome people. So it was nice to see you guys, and have a great day and stay motivated. Bye!
Bye, guys.